Ladies, hello. That's Oka. Welcome back to our Sunday Dose. How are you? How are you? I hope muri right. Kumba, mabasa, vana, and your sweet selves. I hope muri right hysteric. And did it? Did it right? Tadzoka. So what are we talking about today? What are we talking about today? If just as a recap, if you remember, last week we talked about limiting beliefs. We talked about empowering beliefs. Saka kana uruda ku remind yourself about this, go back and listen to the video again so that you can connect what we were talking about last week to what we will be talking about today. And did it good. Last week takalenda kuti limiting beliefs edu ndo anotitadzisa kuenjoy our best selves because isusu we are naturally happy people because takazvarwa takadaro, but we have been conditioned to think kuti pane zvinhu zvinotinetsa takakura tikanzwa kuti pane zvinhu zvinotinetsa iwe hauna kudai, and those people and those things we identify with tobva tatoti ndo character yedu, and then those things stop us from enjoying life. Remember, what we are doing, ladies, is the art of joyful living and stress management. In the Takatara, the art of joyful living, being happy, that's our most part of us. Most part of us, tiri vanhu vanotofara. If you can count, ladies, and this kunyemba, the number of times that tinotsamwa pagoreka, the number of times that we are happy. Unotoona kuti unofara stereki more than the number of times that we are sad. But somehow, as human beings, we are wired to focus on the things that that make us insecure, on the things that take our safety away. Saka limiting beliefs iwayo ndo anoita kuti tisafare because we feel insecure, we don't feel safe. That's why maybe tichifeel out sometimes I'm not happy, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful. All the things that we criticize ourselves and criticize others. It just means you're afraid of something. It just means you are not happy, you are not safe. Because if you look at the number of times that you've been happy, your thoughts, you were having good thoughts. Basically, something that's exciting, something that's good. When you are happy, when you are celebrating, it means you are fine. You feel safe, you feel secure, you're not afraid of anything, you're not even thinking about what people are thinking about you. You are just having fun, you're being you. I did it. But when you are not feeling okay, that means those things are limited. Kufara kwako kuri limited, safety yako iri limited, uri feel insecure. You see, the environment is not safe for you. Saka unoita say unotsama, you're feeling you're blaming someone for that, or you're blaming yourself for that, or you're feeling guilty, about something, you're feeling bad, you're in depression, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling sad because the environment is not conducive for you to thrive. But kana uchifara, you feel good, you are fine, you are secure, you are around you, everything is perfect. You're in alignment with your wishes, with your desires, and so what we are going to be talking about today, ladies, is let's take inventory of those moments that we are happy. Let's take inventory of those times that we feel good. Fire. And what was happening to your thoughts? What was happening to your actions, your reactions? What was happening to your environment? And my feelings are, how were you feeling? Take inventory of those moments. And because that's how you cure my limiting beliefs. That's how you cure the moments that uri said. Because uri said uri in your low emotions. It means you are lacking the love that you're feeling this side. You are lacking the safety that you feel cannot be happy. You're lacking the excitement, you're lacking the desires, hauna passion. That's hauna you are complaining about something is not happy. You feel like you want to control the environment because the environment is not making you happy. But poningo chifara, you don't even feel like you want to control anything. You are just happy, you are relaxed, you're just chilled. Universe is just aligning with your passion, with your desires, with your wishes, and you are happy. So the art of joyful living and stress management is actually mimicking. You are mimicking. My times are happy. Those are the behaviors that you want to mimic so that you are happy all the time. I know it's not possible. It's not possible to be happy all the time. But stress management means You are mimicking the times that you are happy. You are mimicking your thoughts, the thought pattern. You are mimicking the emotions. You are mimicking your behaviors and your reactions and your judgments. So when you remind when you are no longer sad, when you're no longer happy, you are sad, or you feel as depression. You want to mimic. That's how you bring back life into when you are worried. You want to stop worrying. You mimic my behaviors ako, my thoughts ako, my emotions ako. You mimic them. That's the trick. And then you do that. Because when you take inventory of the things that you like, ladies, do more of those things. If you do more of the things that you like, that means most of the time you are happy. Because but you have to be intentional about it. So what I mean when I say intentional, it means you actually have to decide, good, now that I have assessed myself, now that I have observed myself from a thought level, how do I think? From a reaction level, how do I act? How do I behave? From an emotions level, how do I feel most of the time? What are my triggers? You've been observing yourself these past weeks, and you've been writing, you've been journaling, and so now that you know these are your triggers, this is how you feel most of the time, these are in your areas of life, and the part people ufunga kuti uda kuchinja. Saka pane chinhu chawaona kuti uda kuchinja, then tiri vanhu vanofara kudhara. So all that you need to practice now is to practice being happy. Practice the language yaunoita kana uchifara. Practice the mood, the behaviors dzaunoita kana uchifara, so that pese paunofila kuti nhasi handisi kufara kana ndikutsamwiswa nechinhu chakati, you remind yourself, you can bounce back kuti but kana ndichifara ndinoita izvo. Ndo matrix acho the art of joyful living and stress management is being intentional. Kuto decide I'm not going to let this make me sad again. I want to change. I'll give you an example. Resentment, a lot of resentment, a lot of anger. So when I started this journey, I also self-assessed myself. I have my triggers. But because I wanted to become a new person, I wanted to become a peaceful person, I wanted to become a more loving person, a patient person. Munhu asingajaji vanhu, a person who doesn't criticize themselves. I had to learn kuti, but by my times andisinga criticize myself. What am I doing? What am I thinking? How am I feeling? And then I'll try to mimic that in all the time, so that I train myself not to criticize me, not to criticize others. So that's what we are sort of going to be talking about today. Be intentional. Because paunenge usiri intentional, you are controlled nema emotions ako, you are controlled nema thoughts ako, you are controlled nema reactions ako, because hausi kufunga, you're not stopping to think, you're not choosing. But exercise yatakaita yoku observe yourself, you are observing yourself from a third party point of view. You are like reading your book. What are my emotions? What are my things? It's like you're reading your book, my book called Aluta, and you're reading it. Aluta wacho ambori munageta say, it's you observing yourself. You understand? Because so now you can see, you can observe yourself. Now, since work was you observer, now you can see, you actually have a choice. My thoughts are nowhere, but you can choose the thoughts that you like. My emotions are nowhere, but you can still choose how you want to feel. My reactions are you can stop and think, do I really want to act like this? Saka, you need to decide. I'm sorry, excuse the noise in the background. You need to decide I wanted to be a peaceful person. So I had to learn I'm a peaceful person. I have to stop resentments. I have to stop being angry. And because I'm going to say, kuda peace. Saka I had to learn the language. Are peaceful. What am I supposed to do? So I started being intentional with my life. And so that's what we're going to learn, is you have to be mindful of your language. Let's learn the language, right? So kana uchizvi criticize iwewe munhu makuseni wakamira pamira, or whenever you criticize yourself kuti I'm not a good person, I'm not a loving person, I'm a person ari angry. Kana uri munhu anozvi criticize like that, and now you need to stop doing that. I'm encouraging you to start learning the language yekuzvi empower. How do you do that? Now, ndatitora inventory of the times that you are happy. Take inventory of the times that you feel strong, you feel safe, you feel secure. And then and then observe yourself with I am strongest here, but kana ndakatsamwa ndiri kufila weak, ndiri kufila sad, ndiri worried, that means I'm not okay, I'm actually feeling sick. And saka, when I'm describing myself, I don't want to describe myself from a sick me point of view. I want to describe myself from an empowered point of view. So now start describing yourself from your strengths. Muri munhu anoenda kubasa already, so utori munhu ari confident, akaita interview akapinda basa. Uri munhu ane madegree, so utori munhu ane knowledge, utori munhu ari smart. You see, uri munhu ane spouse inotokuudza kuti I love you, you are beautiful. So you're a beautiful person already. So start thinking of yourself from that point of view, how others see you. Because when you look at yourself and criticize yourself, hauna contradiction. Apana munhu ari kukucontradicta. So ukangomira pemberi kana I don't deserve this. Watopedza. Hakuna munhu ari kuuya achikuti chi, no, you do deserve. So start telling yourself kuti I do deserve. But so that means you have to start describing yourself from your strength point of view. Zvinhu zvese ma-accolades ako, the material things that you have, kana uri munhu anotoda hembe, kana munhu anoda kuchena, start looking at the things that you love about your life and describe yourself from that point of view. That's how you bring back your confidence. That's how you bring back your power. That's how you take back your space. Because ukagara uchizvikriticize, we have trained ourselves to criticize. We have criticized ourselves for so long, and ende tatojaira. Tatojaira kutsvaga turi something that's wrong about us. We are used to that. Saka ndozvinhu zvinolida into us having my limiting beliefs, and that's what leads us not to fully enjoy our lives. But if you start describing yourself and identifying yourself from your strengths point of view, you can learn that you are actually a person who is able. Remember, you are made from the image of God, or you're made in the image of God, and God is able. Saka you are also able. You have unlimited power. You can also create the things that you like, your desires. If you focus your language, if you tell yourself, inini, I am this person, I look at the evidence. Take inventory, no matter how small that thing is. Always describe yourself from an empowered point of view. Don't criticize it. That's how you turn criticism around, because tinoona stereki zvinhu zvakaipa about us. Saka if you learn your language, the power of I am, make sure kuti zvinhu zvese zvaunotaura after I am, it's zvinhu zvine power, zvinhu zvine empowerment, zvinhu zviri strong, zvinhu zvakanaka. I am compassionate, I am loving, I am beautiful, I am amazing. Ndoda kutaura kuti I'm beautiful because I am. You need to be confident. I am confident. I have beautiful kids, I'm a beautiful spouse, I'm a beautiful kubasa, a member of the community and a contributor positively to the community. Talk to yourself, the power of I am. Because what I learned, whenever you say I am, I am not good enough, iwewe body yako listens to that, and then you behave like that. Your thoughts are support in that not good enough notion. Saka kana uri munhu anoda kuchinja ma-limiting beliefs yako, taura the opposite of it. If a limiting belief yako kana iri yekuti I'm not good in speaking English, taura now, tell yourself, I'm actually good and excellent in speaking English, because you have history. You have history yekutaura chirungu. Wakapasa say form 4 ukaenda form 6 ukaenda university, but just because one person akakuzwa kuti ugonotaura chirungu, now you decide to describe yourself from the day yawanga uri weak, the one day raukabreaka chirungu, you now decide to identify yourself with that one day, and you forget about the 1 million times that you have spoken English. I'm saying this to myself. Because ndo yanga iri problem yangu yekufunga kuti handina confidence because angonotaura chirungu, but it was only one time when a person told me that I'm not good enough, and I decided to identify with that, and then I decided to live my life from that point of view yekuti I'm not good. Saka dzidzira kutarisa zvinhu zvakanaka zvaunoita mulife mako, and start describing, and start putting your I am, start describing your I am from that point of view. Handiti rega kutaurisa kuti I'm too tall, I'm too fat, I'm too sluggish, I'm too chi, I have taura whatever you put after I am should be an empowered thing. Describe yourself from your strength point of view. Handiti saka kuchinja language mazuva ekutanga bos wajaira kumira pamira uchitarisa mapundu uchaaverenga. So that means mazuva ekutanga unozviudza kuti I'm beautiful, unofunga kuti uri kunyepa. But you train yourself because musi wakatanga kuudzwa nemunhu kunzi wakashata ka wakazvibelieve immediately, and you started training your mind every day kuti ndakashata, and reminding your mind ndakashata until you became that ndakashata, and until your reactions and your body and your thoughts started supporting that ndakashata idea. So now you need to retrain yourself kuti ndakanaka. So it might feel kunge uri kunyepa, anditi, but you are training yourself. But you are now training yourself with the truth, because you are actually a beautiful person and you have evidence, because you have kids who think that you are the most amazing person. You've got a spouse, you've got your family who think you're the most amazing person. Even your workmates, they love you. And so you une evidence kudara. Ndikungopanga example yekunaka, because that's what something that most us ladies suffer from. Utori munaka une evidence yema achievements, une evidence yema strengths ako, une evidence yema accolades ako. So always focus on those things, and that's how you combat my limiting beliefs. Because limiting beliefs are lies, because it's just one potential kudara. Very unlimited. That's why we call them limiting beliefs. The sky is the limit, and it's true. But those limiting beliefs are not tisa enjoy our true selves, because we don't feel safe, we don't feel secure, and we don't feel good environment actually thriving. I'm not good enough. Maybe we are afraid of failing. And you start telling yourself, good, I don't want to do this, I can't do this. But ladies, we deserve the best. We deserve everything that's nice, in the natural. But it only starts with you learning the language and telling yourself. And that's even how you do it with love. And love your neighbor as much as you love yourself. Iwewe kana usinga accept yourself totally. If you don't love yourself totally, how can you then expect other people to love you totally? So iwewe, it has to start with you. Accept yourself. Accept this is perfect, because you are actually a perfect person in whatever you do. So when you describe yourself from that point of view, you will start not over confidence. You start carrying yourself like a confident person, like a beautiful person, like a smart person, a person with excellence. And a person who evolves. Unototanga kutochinja, because urikuzviudza those things. You're not waiting for other people to tell you those things. Because sometimes chinotitsamwisa ndechekuti mumwe munhu akakukriticize unotsamwa, because iwewe unogara uchizvicriticize like that, and now you've found another person ari kuconfirm that criticism. Saka unobva watsamwa kuti vanhu vari kunditi, but iwewe uri kukanganwa kuti you also tell yourself, you also criticize yourself, really negatively. Saka how we counter those things, self-criticism, because that's the most major thing, so when you start criticizing yourself, it's easier for other people to criticize you. But when you start looking at yourself from an empowered point of view, the universe, nevano around you, will start supporting you, because you see yourself is perfect. Saka even monaka yakunzoka kaguti, you are not perfect, you can easily dismiss them because you don't agree with them. So it's in the language. What do you say after I am? Mind your language. Be intentional. Be intentional. Now that I know these are my weaknesses, I want to be seen from, and I want to see myself from an empowered point of view. Saka be intentional about it. Even kana ndikapinda mu meeting, I want people, this is how I want to speak, this is how I want to sit, this is how I want to carry myself. Fake it until you make it. That's how you turn my limiting beliefs ako. Because you need to retrain yourself language, even to, speaking to yourself, being compassionate with yourself. You need to learn to stop criticizing yourself. You need to learn to accept yourself 100%. And you need to learn to accept others. Because the more you accept yourself, iwewe is perfect, the more you also accept others as perfect, because it starts with you. The more you love yourself unconditionally, you will also start extending that unconditional love to others. But iwewe kana uchizvinyima, unema limiting beliefs, ako uchizvikriticize, because you do that to yourself, it's easy for you to do that also to other people because it's normal with you. That's the language that you're used to. Criticize. And so you'll start seeing other people like that because language. But when you start telling yourself, I'm perfect, there's nothing wrong with me, nothing, you also start seeing people from that point of view. There's nothing wrong with people and people are perfect. And that way you become a peaceful person. Saka tikungotaura about my tricks and tools of how you can change my limiting beliefs ako to positive beliefs, to empowering beliefs, just by minding your language, just by looking at the way you speak about yourself, minding what comes after I am. If you decide from today onwards, I want to be a generous person, then start thinking like a generous person, start feeling like a generous person, start behaving like a general person, because we are intentional about it. You were not a generous person yesterday, so there's no way you can just wake up and become a generous person. But tsvaga kuti vanhu vari general person vanofunga sei, vanoita sei, and then you start doing it. Eventually unopedzera watodzidzira. I wasn't a confident person inini before. Ndaitotambudzika, kutoita manyoka chaiwo kuti pese panoenda kukotika ndotanga ndaita manyoka, kuti I'm sorry I'm saying that because ndaitya, even though nandi lawyer ndaitya majudge. But now zvakachinja because I started empowering myself. I started telling myself, I'm actually good at this. I started noticing my strengths and I started describing myself from my strengths point of view. And so that way ndakatanga kuona my strengths evamwe, and I started observing that the universe and the world around actually supports you whenever you speak like that. You empower yourself, you actually see the universe inotanga kukuempower, because pese paunozvikriticize you unotoona futi vanhu vanokukriticize, and you also see evidence yekuti vanhu vari kukukriticize. And so you have a choice. This is, I'm just teaching you choices here, and I'm encouraging you to make choices. Based upon it, I thought it is disempowering, change it to an empowering. Just look at it the opposite. But I don't feel like I don't deserve this. I don't belong here. Just tell yourself, I do belong here. God loves me, and I do deserve the best. And tell yourself the opposite. Whatever disempowering thought you're creating, turn it into an empowering thought by looking at the opposite of it. And I'm good enough. I'm perfect. I'm able. I'm unlimited. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. And start drawing that power to you. Start seeing yourself from an empowered point of view. So that's the trick that we have today. Nasi Guti, stop criticizing yourself. Take inventory of your strengths and start describing yourself from a strength point of view yako iwewe. But when you feel you're not okay, when you feel something is not okay with you, you're feeling low emotions, that's the time to be compassionate with yourself. That's not the time you go identify yourself with that pain and with that suffering. Be compassionate with yourself, be patient with yourself, give yourself grace, and it's gonna be okay. I'm not okay these days and I need time off. And I need time off. Kunge bandage ndachekwa ndichatoisa bandage. That's what you do when you're not feeling okay. You nurture yourself. You come home to that soothing space that you've created for yourself. But you do not identify with those bad feelings. You just acknowledge, I'm not okay, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make myself feel better until I feel better and bounce back to my normal self, of which my normal self is when I'm strong. My normal self is when I'm happy. My normal self is when I feel like the world is happening for me and the world is supporting me and I'm enjoying my life. That's my normal self. But I will take care of myself so that I can bounce back to my normal self. That's all we have today, ladies. I hope this week, you take inventory of the times that you're happy and mimic that. Do more of those things. And we feel sad, we feel my low emotions. Mimic the energy, mimic the thought pattern, mimic, the behaviors that you do, and try to lift yourself up. And give yourself grace and take care of yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Love yourself. That's all we have today. See you next time. Talk to me inbox. Bye bye. Thank you so much.